This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
All eyes were on the skies across the country today. Here in the bi-state, many saw either a total or partial solar eclipse. Here's what it looked like earlier in Cape Girardeau and St. Louis. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. The moon passed in front of the sun several hours ago, and many people traveled just outside of St. Louis to watch the total eclipse. The path of totality went through southern Missouri and into the Metro East.
And we have team coverage tonight from along the path of totality. We have crews in Carbondale, Mount Vernon, and St. Louis. Let's begin with Ann Allred and Scott Connell in Cape Girardeau.
What a day it has been today, Mike and Kelly. We've had a mainly clear sky that set us up for an outstanding view of Mother Nature at her very best this afternoon. Totality lasted a little more than 4 minutes here in Cape Girardeau, and about 4,000 folks showed up here at the Sportsplex to enjoy today's weather and the event that was happening.
We had so many people out here. We had food trucks. Look at all those cars. And there were people parked along the highway, along the side roads, along rest stops, but brought their telescopes and their specially fitted camera lenses. We met people from all these different countries, multiple different states, lots of families. A really just fabulous group out here, really passionate about eyes to the skies today. We also got to meet a couple from London. They were in this very spot for Totality in 2017, right here at the Sportsplex in Cape, and they traveled 4,000 miles to do it all over again.
It's hard to describe, I think. And it's the darkness, and it's the bird song, and it's the insects going, starting to fire up, and yeah, it's all of that. It's just, and it's good to do it around people as well.
He loves the Midwest, he says. Barbecue and all-you-can-eat breakfast.
And it was good to be with everybody out here because people were making fast friends,
Yes.
and everybody was in a great mood today.
Let's go over to the Metro East. Our Holden Kerwicki is there. He spent the last several days in Carbondale. Holden.
Well, Ann, as a Southern Illinois native, I'm actually blessed to say, like many people down here, this is the second time I've taken in an eclipse in totality. And if you looked up at the sky during that moment today, it's easy to understand why people not only travel across the country, but entire continents to take in this celestial event. Though the crowd may not have been as large as originally expected, more than 13,000 people still packed inside of Saluki Stadium, which was a party-like atmosphere throughout the afternoon with concerts and interactive displays. However, when the moment of totality struck, the crowd went totally silent for the entire totality. Jared Lopez told me taking in totality for the first time was worth the trip to Carbondale, all the way from Puerto Rico.
Today was emotional. I couldn't describe it in words. I teared up a little bit. The wind didn't help at all, just hit me in the eyes and it made it worse. Seeing all the stars, seeing the animals acting in different ways, seeing all the shadows coming in and then coming out, it was incredible.
Though it's quiet out here now, quite a few people actually stuck around until the moon was completely away from the sun at 3:18 p.m. They let out a loud cheer. I'm pretty sure if you listen closely, there was also a collective sigh from SIU staff for pulling this off after 9 years of planning. Reporting live in Carbondale, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
9 years, Holden, thank you. Also, meteorologist Gary Frank is live in Illinois tonight. And Gary, what was your experience like in Mount Vernon?
It was incredible, right? Just, Holden said he got to experience it a couple of times, and I've been with some people that have got to see it a couple of times as well. It was cloudy when I tried to go see it. When I lived in Michigan, and I went back to Kansas City and then drove further right into the clouds. So as Scott mentioned, we couldn't have had a better day. And just talking to some people that just casually just around here after the event, driving down, and they're just like, oh my goodness, we were just so happy to see this. We couldn't have had a better day. Even the last one maybe wasn't as good as this one. We were fortunate to kind of be around with some of the people outside that got to experience the event. And we got to see some of those reactions and hear some of those reactions from some of those first timers, and just listening to them was a lot of fun as well. That was the big story for me, was just listen to what they had to say. I mean, it was amazing from that regard. When we had all these people, their immediate reactions. That was the most amazing thing. I know. That was, you can hear the chorus of that, right? Just all kinds of reactions like that. pretty much throughout the entire area, and we found that good spot along the pond. We did talk to a couple of people that were like me. They had not seen it. They drove down from Wisconsin. I wanted to see if they had the same reaction to me or just kind of similar things. Or it was just interesting to talk to these people, and let's check in with them because they were just amazing to talk to.
Just a big wow.
Yeah.
That's all I could say. It was just amazing. The change in atmosphere, it was incredible.
We can't believe we just had perfect conditions and it was over the top.
Yeah, and that's, that was, we all just kind of felt it, and it was hard to describe. We just had a certain feeling where we just kind of all paused, right? And it was amazing to share that experience with other people and see what their reactions were. We just all stopped and paused, and it was nice that we had a small group of about 1,500 people here in Mount Vernon to kind of share our experiences, first-timers and multi-timers alike. And so it was really cool to be a part of it and share that experience with them as well.
4 minutes of everyone in awe, definitely. Thank you, Gary. Now, St. Louis was not in the path of totality. It did see a partial eclipse. Our Diamond Palmer shows us how people experienced it at the St. Louis Science Center. Hi, Diamond.
Hi, Ann. Well, people coming to the St. Louis Science Center actually got to see totality, but inside of the planetarium building here just behind me, they were able to see a live broadcast of NASA that they were providing. However, if they did step outside, that's when they saw 99%, that partial eclipse happening today. But of course, we saw some of the same things that people in Carbondale and Cape Girardeau were seeing. The fact that the sky was darkening, the temperatures were getting cooler, and hundreds of people actually came here to the Science Center to see all of this happen. And scientists say the fact that we had a cross-country eclipse today and we had one almost 7 years ago in practically the same locations is almost unheard of. Now, like I said, hundreds of people came here today to witness a piece of this historic event. Of course, 99% is second best, but they still got a taste of some of this eclipse sighting. Scientists say the reasons why we don't see something like this all the time is because of the tilt of the orbit of the moon as we go throughout the year.
In the past, that may have been something that's a little bit mystifying, but now we can explain why it's happening. We can explain we don't see it all the time because of the tilt of the orbit of the moon as we go throughout the year. And I think that those are really cool things that we could say, hey, science is for everybody because this is something we all get to view.
Now, scientists also say wildlife can be affected by events like these. In some areas experiencing totality, those animals came out in the darkness. But here, where we experienced partial eclipse happening, some household animals who were even outside could be feeling anxious. Now, the next time a cross-country total solar eclipse will happen will be August 2045, and Missouri will actually be in totality, but that is only extreme southwest Missouri. But for now, back to you, Ann.
Diamond, thank you. And what's so exciting, Mike and Kelly, is that in 2017, Missourians were lucky to see this total eclipse, but it was only about 2 minutes and change. So we had double the amount of time in totality, which is amazing.
Quite a sight. All right, thank you, Ann. Great job. And you can read all about our eclipse coverage across the bi-state. For a link, all you have to do is text the word eclipse to 314-425-5355. We're back after the break.